If you're running a business here in the UK, your relationship with HMRC is about to change in a massive way. And today, thanks to the tax experts at My Tax Accountant who've developed this entire discussion, we're going to break down exactly how AI is set to completely revolutionize tax audits, and more importantly, what you need to start doing right now to get ready for 2026. Just let that sink in for a second. We're not talking about a person or even a team of auditors. We're talking about an AI that can analyze every single transaction your business has ever made. Now, this isn't some far-off science fiction. This is happening, and you need to be preparing for it today. And again, a big thank you to the team at My Tax Accountant for putting all this together. Their insights are absolutely crucial for what we're about to cover. All right, so let's dive into our first big topic. The AI auditor is officially on its way. And no, this isn't just speculation. It's a documented, fully funded government strategy. We're going to look at what's really driving this change, and it all starts with one very big number. Here it is, £46.8 billion. That's the UK's estimated tax gap from the last financial year. You know, that's the money HMRC believes it's owed but hasn't collected. And now, now they've got the ultimate tool to find every last penny of it buried deep in your accounts. And if you needed any more proof of how serious they are, here it is. HMRC has an official goal to make 90% of all tax interactions digital by 2030. Now, this isn't just about launching a few new websites. No. This is about building an entire tax system from the ground up that's designed to be run by artificial intelligence. So you might be wondering, how is this AI auditor actually going to work? Well, the most important thing to get your head around is the shift from being reactive to proactive. In the past, HMRC reacted to red flags. Now, they're going to be proactively hunting for them 24/7. Let's see what that really means in practice. You can really see the difference laid out here. A traditional audit was kind of like a random spot check on the motorway, right? Pulling over one or two cars to see if their paperwork was in order. An AI audit, though, that's like having a digital speed camera on every single car all the time, tracking its entire journey and flagging any tiny anomaly instantly. It's a huge shift from sampling a few transactions to analyzing every single one. Let's make this really concrete. Imagine you're a small e-commerce business owner in London. You pay a supplier, but there's a tiny mismatch between the invoice amount and what you've logged in your accounting software. You know, a simple human error. In the past, finding that would be like finding a needle in a haystack. But HMRC's AI, it can scan the entire haystack in seconds, find that needle, and automatically trigger an inquiry. That's the incredible power and the very real risk of this new world. Okay, so that's the new reality. The big question is, how on earth do you prepare for it? Well, it all starts with getting the foundations right. We're going to walk through the 7 most common flaws that the experts at My Tax Accountancy see time and time again, starting with the 3 big foundational errors that catch most businesses out. Okay, the first flaw is relying on your old general business risk register. I'm telling you now, that's just not going to cut it anymore. AI brings a whole new set of specific risks, like something called model drift. That's where an AI's performance gets worse over time, and algorithmic bias, where it might start making unfair decisions. Auditors are going to be looking for hard proof that you're actively managing these very unique AI risks. So what do you do? The crucial first step is to create a dedicated AI risk register. Then you need to classify your risks based on the AI lifecycle, assign clear ownership, and believe me, this isn't just an IT job, and review it constantly. This shows an auditor you're being proactive, not just waiting for problems to happen. Now stay with me. The next point is where most businesses really get caught out. Right, this one is a really big deal. If your business uses AI for anything, I'm talking pricing, recruitment, financial forecasting, you name it, you absolutely must be able to explain how that AI reached its decision. If you can't, an auditor just sees a black box. And a black box is just another way of saying there's no accountability, which is a massive compliance red flag. This quote really hits the nail on the head. You need to have a clear, defendable paper trail for every single AI-driven process in your business. Think of it like your system's alibi. You need records of the training data, the model versions, the criteria the AI uses. Without all that, you simply can't defend its decisions when you're under the microscope. The third foundational flaw is what I call the deploy and done mindset. You know, you launch an AI model, it works great, and you just forget about it. But here's the thing, AI models are not static. As your business data and the world around you change, their performance can degrade. This leads to a critical concept you need to know called model drift.
Model drift is a term you absolutely have to understand. The best analogy is like a car's wheel alignment. It's perfect when you first drive it out of the garage, but over time, bumps in the road can make it start to veer off course. Well, it's the same with AI. A model that's perfectly compliant on day 1 could easily drift into being non-compliant by day 90 if you're not constantly monitoring it.
So we've covered the basics, the foundations. Now let's turn to the blind spots. These are those subtle but absolutely critical areas where even the most diligent and prepared businesses can get caught out.
This chart really paints a picture of some significant weaknesses. We're going to touch on all 3, but let's start with the biggest vulnerability for most businesses: data governance. Because let's be honest, if your data's flawed, your AI will be too. It's the fuel for the entire system.
Flaw number 4 then is weak data governance. You know the old saying, garbage in, garbage out? If you feed your AI biased or poor quality data, you're going to get a non-compliant AI. And this leads us straight into a massive blind spot. Flaw number 5, completely overlooking the AI tools you buy off the shelf. You might just assume your software vendor is responsible for compliance, but HMRC sees it very differently. Their view is simple. If you use the tool, you own the risk. And here's a pro tip for you, something you can do immediately. Go back and look at your supplier contracts and your due diligence processes. They absolutely must now include AI-specific clauses. You should be asking your vendors for their bias audits, their transparency reports, and proof of their own continuous monitoring. Remember, as far as HMRC is concerned, their system is your system.
Okay, flaw number 6 is thinking AI governance is just an IT problem. It's not. It's a business-wide responsibility. It involves your legal team, HR, compliance, and senior leadership. And finally, flaw number 7, treating this whole thing like an exam you can just cram for. Trust me, auditors can easily spot when compliance isn't baked into your daily operations. It has to be a continuous process, not a last-minute panic.
Phew. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground there. So let's pull it all together into your AI-ready action plan. If you remember nothing else from our chat today, remember these 7 steps. This is it. This is your roadmap to getting ready. Let's run through it quickly. 1. Create that dedicated AI risk register. 2. Document all your AI decision processes. 3. Monitor your models continuously. 4. Get your data governance in order. 5. Scrutinize those third-party tools. 6. Form a cross-functional oversight team. And finally, number 7, make compliance part of your company's DNA. This is your path to facing 2026 with confidence. Now, while this checklist gives you a really clear plan, we know that actually putting it all into practice can feel pretty complex, maybe even a little daunting. But getting this right is critical, and the stakes are incredibly high. The good news is you absolutely do not have to navigate this transition alone. For professional help to make sure your business is protected and fully prepared, you can contact the experts at My Tax Accountant. Their phone number is +44 0208 570 8531, and the email is info@mytaxaccountant.co.uk. And just a final note, the information in this presentation is for general purposes only and should not be relied upon exclusively to make financial decisions. Before making any decision, you must consult the tax experts at My Tax Accountant.